Welcome to Supercharged Storytime Through an Equity Lens, Section 3. My name is Sakithia Pugh, and I am the Early Learning Program Manager at the Seattle Public Library. Today in Section 3, we are going to be exploring welcoming spaces and collections. Programming can occur inside and outside of your library. Let's take a look at a programming example from my work in the library that incorporates best practices for creating welcoming spaces and collections. And this is a program that I lead called Loud at the Library. In partnership with Public Health, the Seattle Public Library developed this program with the goal of introducing first-time parents and their children to the library through early literacy programming. Each session is designed with program partners, and families engage in multilingual and culturally responsive early literacy activities that include open-ended play, story time, and storytelling, as well as parenting discussions. Also, as a part of our program, we invite parents to take library branch tours, initiate library card sign-ups, and meeting staff are also components of the program. Reflect on your recent walkthrough of your library branch or other library branches. You should be referring to your library walkthrough checklist that you completed before listening to this recording. And so as you reflect on your walkthrough activity, I'd like you to think about the following. What did you notice? What images were represented in the space? Was there multilingual print signs available? How were patrons using the space? Ask yourself, did you see families engaged in activities? During your visit, did you also have a time to interact with staff? Were you greeted? And finally, did you engage with any library patrons? And this is an incredible opportunity, particularly during your visit if there was an actual program occurring. It's through those informal conversations that you can actually learn a lot from community about how they experience library spaces. As you reflect on your walkthrough activity, it's important to remember that we see our library branches through a different lens. Again, maximize your interactions with community to learn more about how they experience your branch. And more importantly, be thinking about how can you learn from listening to others as a way to help influence conversations about potentially doing things differently. Getting all library staff involved. This is such an important part of creating welcoming spaces. Everyone in your library plays a vital role in creating a welcoming environment. Some ways that I have incorporated that I'd like to offer to you today to think about in terms of getting how you would get staff involved or ways in which staff could get involved is beginning by even sharing that an upcoming program event is happening. If staffing allows in your particular location or your branch, ask them to participate and share power by even assigning them a particular role. Remember, patrons make no distinctions about the jobs or our different jobs in this case in the library. We are all library workers to them. The picture actually that you see indicated on this slide is a great example of how we were able to involve staff. Following a program, a library staff person who is a shelver at this particular location invited one of our youngest patrons who attended the program that day to actually assist with the shelving. This is such an incredible opportunity. Even as something as small as shelving books can create long-lasting memories for families that attend a program. This could be, by any means, their first introduction to the space, and probably, based on the quality of that interaction, not their last. In my experience, program attendees often share that it was nice to be welcomed or even be able to talk with someone in their home language. I want to emphasize to you all that staff is one of the greatest resources we have. You all are the greatest resource. Consider how you and your individual role can shift your practice to be more inclusive of everyone working in your location. Creating a diverse collection. So we've talked about aspects of the physical environment, things maybe that you noticed when you completed your library walkthrough activity. And now let's also create space to consider that in addition to the physical environment, your collection plays a great part in creating a welcoming environment. Some questions that you should think about. Does your collection reflect the community? Does it promote a broader understanding of the diverse and rich world in which we live? How do we move away from individual practices that mean we only promote the diversity of collections around a particular month, for instance, Black History Month? How can we be more intentional in making a diverse collection an integral part of our environment every day in our library work? I want to give you an example because I also think the opportunities with diverse collections does present some challenges. A few years ago, I started an Arabic story time at a particular branch that we had gathered some data and learned information that, and heard from community as well, that there was a need to offer this program. And upon inviting families in to enjoy story time and working with the storyteller, we recognized that there were some limitations with respect to the collection. In essence, we did not have books available in Arabic. So as a way to sort of broaden the notion around what a diverse collection is, and more importantly being intentional in centering family voice, we actually worked very closely with the families that attended story time to create space for storytelling. So this is important, and I've used this as an example because these early literacy opportunities exist far beyond physical print in books. They happen in the day-to-day interactions with your families through storytelling, and I think it's an acknowledgement that we support the richness of cultural diversity. Refer to your course resources in the Learner Guide for more information. Story times for diverse audiences. You are now ready to supercharge. So what does this mean when you are programming for diverse audiences? I'd like to provide you some additional tips to think about incorporating into your planning and delivery of your program. Remember, your goal is to create an environment that is welcoming, engaging, and also interactive. All families benefit from diverse experiences, and I mentioned that because it is not just about programming uniquely in response to a community, but recognizing that these are opportunities to promote across the board. Again, shifting our practice. So some tips. Promote your collection. Select diverse books to share at story time. Have multilingual books available for checkout following your programs. Do storytelling. Again, thinking about that example that I gave you with Arabic story time. Our collections are limited, and often you will find that you do not have books available in the languages represented in your program. Enlist the help of a bilingual storytime volunteer to potentially lead the storytelling activity. Even your parents would be willing to jump in on this fun. Encourage your families, finally, to share stories from their cultural backgrounds. Have fun.